studied before ionic bonding. Now we're going to look at covalent bonding. And covalent bonding is a bonding happens when atoms share electrons. This atom of hydrogen, this is hydrogen. In the first shell, it needs to have two electrons. This atom has only one valence electron, so it needs to have two. So how is it going to have full octet? How is it going to have full shell, outermost shell? Is by sharing with another atom. This is hydrogen. This atom of hydrogen also needs to have two electrons. It has only one, and this has only one. So they will say, why don't we share these electrons and everyone will have two electrons? So this is just going to come close to this atom. And now if you count, this atom has 1, 2. This electrons count for this atom, and this atom, the second atom, has also 1, 2 electrons. So now every atom has two valence electrons, and they need in their first shell to be full with two electrons. Now everyone has two electrons. They share their electrons. When atoms share electrons, this is we call it what? We call it covalent bonding, and we'll have this molecule H2. It is a molecule made of two atoms of hydrogen bonded covalently. So here is another example. This atom of carbon, in its outermost shell, it has 4 electrons. It needs to have 8 electrons, so it needs 4 electrons, 4 more electrons. Where is it going to have these 4 electrons? It's going to share the atoms, these electrons, with another atom. So it can share with 4 atoms of hydrogen. Now this atom of hydrogen has 1 electron. It will share it with this electron, and this has 1 electron, will be shared with this electron. This also the same has 1, will be shared with this one, and will be shared with this one. If the carbon will have 8 electron, look, this will just come close to it, and this will come close. Also those two will bond with it. Now if we count the number of atoms for carbon, is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. Now it is stable. It has full valence electrons. This hydrogen needs to have 2. It had before only 1. Now it has 1, its electron, and 1 which it shared from the carbon. This also has 1, 2, and this has 1, 2, this has 1, 2. Everyone now is happy. They made a compound which is called CH4, and everyone now is stable. This has 8, which it needs. These 4 atoms of hydrogen, everyone has 2, and now everyone is happy. Let's look at some examples here. In the exam, you need to draw the ionic and covalent bonding. So to draw ionic bondings of these, we need only to draw the last shell. So we have water. Draw the bonding of H2O. First is going to be covalent because it is non-metal, and non-metal ionic happens between a metal and non-metal. So at the beginning, we're going to draw the atoms here. This is the atom of oxygen. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this atom has 6 electrons. Then the hydrogen, here we have 2 atoms of hydrogen. This is 1 atom of hydrogen, and this is 1 atom of hydrogen. It has 1 electron. This one has 1 electron. They will share these electrons, so it's going to be like this. The bonding is going to be like this. In the middle, we're going to put the oxygen. This is the oxygen, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the oxygen atom. Now we're going to draw the hydrogen. They will share with it here 1 electron. This is hydrogen will share 1, and this is the other hydrogen will share 1 electron. So now if we count the number of electrons, oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now oxygen has 8 valence electrons. It's happy. Also this hydrogen, this hydrogen has 1, 2, and this hydrogen has 1, 2. Now everyone has full octet, full valence shell, and everyone is happy. Let's look at another example here. We will have draw the bonding of oxygen molecule. So here we have 2 atoms of oxygen. This is 1 atom of oxygen. Let's use another color here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is oxygen, and this is another atom of oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we will not write these electrons like this. We don't have 8, so there is no electron here, no electrons here. It has only 6 electrons, and this has 6 electrons. They will bond, but they cannot share only 1 electron. They will share a pair of electrons. They will have double bond. So every atom will share 2 electrons. This is the first atom. It has, let's draw the second atom. Let's use this color. Okay, this is the second atom. Now, the first atom will share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It shared 2 electrons in the middle. This atom, the second, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we count the atoms, the number of electrons in these atoms here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This atom now has 8 valence electrons, and this atom, the second one, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this also has 8 electrons. That's why they share 2 pairs of electrons, and this is, we call it double bond. Because every atom will share 2 electrons, not 1 electron like the example before. Here, let's have another example. CO2. Draw the bonding of CO2. Here we have the carbon atom. The carbon atom is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the oxygen atom, let's draw 2 oxygen atoms. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the second atom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they will bond covalently. We're going to put the carbon in the middle. This is the atom of carbon. And this is 1 atom of hydrogen. And this is the second atom of hydrogen, of oxygen, sorry, not hydrogen. This is oxygen, this is oxygen, this is carbon. Now the carbon is going to have, it has 4 electrons, right? But it's going to share 2 electrons with this atom and 2 electrons with this atom. Now these atoms, this atom of oxygen is going to share also 2 electrons in the middle. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This atom also, oxygen, will share 2 electrons with this carbon. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, why the carbon share 2 electrons? Because in this way it can have full valence electrons. The carbon now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The carbon has 8 electrons. The oxygen also has, let's count this oxygen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. This atom of oxygen also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also has 8 valence electrons. Now everyone has 8 valence electrons. If I want to know my answer is right, is when everyone has full valence shell. This has 8 full valence shell, has 8, and this has 8. So my drawing is correct because everyone has 8 valence electrons. So let's look at this example. This is nitrogen has it has 5 electrons. So this is the nitrogen N, and it's going to have, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 valence electrons, so it's going to share 3 atoms of hydrogen. So these are the atoms of hydrogen. One atom of hydrogen is going to share with it 1 electron here. One atom of hydrogen is going to share another electron with it here. And the last atom of hydrogen is going to share with it 1 electron here. Now is going to be look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The nitrogen has 8 electrons, and every atom of hydrogen has 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2 electrons. So now everyone has full valence shell. So my drawing is correct. And that is it for this video. In the next video, we're going to compare between ionic and covalent compounds. So until the next video, ciao.